Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Running pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
I'm telling you, man, that the open for this show is better than any open you can find. Primarily, sure, I like Brent Musburger. Sometimes a little bit too much, but I think he's really good. Those calls, oh, what a catch by Braylon. I love that stuff. Bring me more. Yes, he is Braylon Edwards. He's got the Tigers English D. He did not go to the Pistons game last night. Otherwise, that would have been a different
needed you, Bray.
Yeah.
We needed you.
They needed him. There is no way. You don't have a mouse in your pocket. The Pistons needed him for sure.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's one of those things where Pistons, they lost to a horrible team, second worst team in the league, the Washington Wizards. But it's one of those things where it happens. And it happens because they're looking at what today is. Today is the team that is most synonymous with the Detroit Pistons and the New York Knicks. It was a trap game. You don't want them to perform like that. But at the end of the day, Shep, we still said they need another guy to hold 9 yards. It's a trap game. They fell into it. They're looking forward to today. It's going to be a sold-out house. It's Friday night. It's the Knickerbockers. First time they're ready to rock and roll. Keep in mind, I say this all the time, the 73-9 Warriors lost to the Detroit Pistons that season, and they won maybe 19 games. So,
well, that's fine.
It happened.
And I think you're right, 100%. It doesn't shock me. It doesn't necessarily, or it does shock me, but it doesn't shake my foundation of how I feel about the Pistons one iota. Still, you can't lose games to that team, okay? And I don't care if you're looking past them or not. At some point, we're going to stop using the Warriors example because we've used it every time they've lost to a bad team, okay? It happens. Yeah. Tigers lost to the Twins. They weren't a good team. Or the White Sox. Lions lost to the Vikings. They weren't necessarily a very good team, right? Red Wings have lost to bad teams. I get it. It's hard to do this for 82 games.
Yeah.
That team... And I think it's more, this is such a cliche, how you lose than losing. The lack of effort at the beginning of the game was really troubling to me and surprising because that's not how J.B. Bickerstaff coach teams play. So get rid of it and move on. And I think the beauty is that they do have a game tonight. I think that's the best part of it.
This is like the most fun thing in football, or just my sport in football, and it happens in all sports, is you'll have a game, you'll have a stinker. And I think when coaches really respect teams, when coaches believe we're on the same page, and maybe it was a one-off, and maybe, you know what, let's not make too much of this, and we have in a situation where, like tonight for the Pistons, they can jump back in and win this game, and everybody will forget about what happened on Thursday night. So if it plays out there right, I tell this story. I remember when I was playing for the Jets, and we got cracked against the Patriots. Legitimately, Rex Ryan came in that Monday, said, look, we're going to bury this football. We ain't going to talk about this game. It is what it is. It's a one-off. We didn't talk about it. We went out there and we figured it out. But you don't want this to happen. Right. This can't happen again. This can't look like this again because we can't keep coming back to the excuse, trap game, or, well, look at the 73. So we hope that this is it, and we'll see how they play tonight because how they play tonight will let me know what was on their mind Thursday night.
Amen. And I'm going to the game tonight. I hope I have that Braylon Edwards effect.
Got the game above gear on, man?
I'm looking forward to it, man. I was at Court of Dreams earlier today. Watched some folks play. What a smile. I just love the smile that these kids have. And when I talk to them, they all say, to be able to play on the same floor as the Detroit Pistons and other NBA teams is an incredible dream come true. So I love the program. Absolutely love it.
What I love about that is I love that the Pistons are a good team now because when you have this space that when you play on the court where teams some bums, like that's not the conversation. You're just happy to play in NBA arena.
Yeah.
But when your team is the deal, when your team is winning games, unlike last night, in the words of Shep, when your team is winning like that, you're proud to say, man, like I'm glad I play on the same court as Cade Cunningham, as Jalen Duren, as the Detroit Pistons.
And you know damn well. I mean, I don't care who you are. You've done it at the highest level. I loved playing at the Silverdome when I was in high school.
Same.
And there's a part of you that makes you drop back and go, you know what? This is who I am today. Well, unfortunately, it was Eric Kramer or somebody, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, those kids are out there and they're dangling. Hey, man, I'm Cade Cunningham here today. I could be Jalen Brunson today. And I know that's a mean word, but I mean, Jalen Brunson's had a really good stretch here for New York.
I don't know if this is everybody, but to me, Shep, like I wasn't successful in high school until I played at the Silverdome and had a game. Whether it was the Prep Bowl, which is the beginning of the season, or whether you made it all the way to the dance. Like I told myself, I have to show out at the Silverdome before I can get to the next level. This is going to be a measure. This is one of my goals. I need to check this off my list just for my own mental.
Sure.
My senior year, transfer to Gallagher. So now I'm playing in the Prep Bowl. Bishop Gallagher versus Divine Child. We won 28-0. I had a pick, had a touchdown,
Nice.
11 tackles.
Look at you. Wow,
And I
really?
knocked their running back out of the game.
You had more tackles than catches that day.
But that was my senior year. 100%. Like wide receiver was kind of like, oh yeah, I played that too. And that's how my senior year was. I broke the state record. The position started that shot.
Wow. That's impressive.
You know?
I didn't know that. I mean, I followed you a little bit at Bishop Gallagher for sure, but I didn't realize it was on the defensive side of the ball that there was such prowess, Ronnie Lott.
Our team was so
that's great.
small, so it's basically like whatever they were good at, that's what Braylon's going to play this week. So it was like, all right, bet. So if this is a team that can run the ball, you know what I'm saying, cool, we're going to put him middle linebacker, starting linebacker. This is a team that can pass the ball, put him at safety. And this is a team that has an elite wide receiver, or I don't like using that word elite, a good wide receiver, play him at DB. If this is a team that has a quarterback, that play him at DN. So that was just on the defensive side of the ball. I played those.
Okay,
Punter,
Max Crosby. I see you. That's
punter,
good.
kicker,
All
running
right.
back,
All right.
receiver, quarterback.
Yeah, I like that. By the way, Max Crosby's cap hit this year, for our conversation
Yeah.
yesterday, his cap hit this year, 35.8. Aleem McNeil's, 29. It's not a huge deal.
Swap.
Aleem McNeil in 2027, 28 million. Max Crosby, 30. And I'm rounding up. And 3 years, in 2028, Aleem McNeil's cap hit, 29 million. Max Crosby's, 28.
So let's give them
No, that's not what I'm suggesting. I'm just trying to give people an idea as far as the money, the numbers are concerned and the money is concerned.
So you're saying
and I was hoping Kool-Aid would give me
money
that's
wasn't
power
well
stats.
spent on one time.
Yeah, that's right.
on one
That's
side.
right.
I picked up on that.
We've got the Super Bowl back here, and Stan's got a Super Bowl party, and I'm super excited. We briefly touched on it the other day. This is his menu: wings, fried wings baked, beans, smoked brisket, which makes my mouth water right now, green beans, no thank you, broccoli coleslaw, chips, rolls, jerk chicken rota, I love that, and cake, which, of course, we could always eat cake. What's the most important
cake.
when you have a Super Bowl or a Super Bowl party? Q is with us and Kool-Aid is with us. What do you think are musts? What do you have to have out there?
You gotta have nachos. You have to have sliders. You have to have wings.
Wings, I agree with the wings, yep.
Potato skins. I don't have to have potato skins, but
Mm-hmm.
if you told me potato skins, I'd be like, okay, it is what it is. But for me, wings, sliders, nachos.
How about pizza? Is that a must?
Pizza's
No?
not a must on Super Bowl Sunday.
I got you.
Because I feel like if you're talking about having people over for a playoff game, if you're talking about having people over for a big Monday night game, if you're talking about maybe even a conference game, yeah, let's slide some pizzas in here. Let's get it rocking and rolling. Let's have 6, 7 stacked up in the corners. Have a bite if you want. Cheese, pepperoni. Go through all of it. But on Super Bowl Sunday, you got to be a little different. You got to bring something. You got to show me like you took it.
Expansive.
Because you're inviting people over. So if you're inviting people over to a Super Bowl party, it's got to be in some version an experience.
Okay.
Because I'm not inviting somebody over for a Super Bowl Sunday just for no experience.
Yeah, there's no sense in inviting people over and doing what my wife always blames me for doing. Braylon, there's pizza, pretzels, and chips. Enjoy. Oh, and there's the beer fridge. There's some whiskey and so on and so forth. And then my wife's like, that's not what you do. That's not what a party is, Matt. You can't do that.
Can't do the beer?
No, you can't just lay things out in a box in a bowl. Okay, it's got to be a little bit more. To your
A little
point,
bit more. Yeah.
Well, when you brought us over,
Yeah.
right, look at the spread that you had. That was a Super Bowl spread, dude.
Yeah.
Mac and cheese,
'Cause
wings,
Multiple types of wings.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
exactly. You
Multiple
see,
types of
100%.
wings. I mean, Wingstop's got nothing on your mom.
You
So I mean, that's the kind of
wait till you see Pops.
Yeah,
like
so-
Pops' field of expertise is the wings.
Is the wings.
Done different ways, 1,000%.
All right, so if you had to have one entree, yours would be the slider, or would it be the wings? Just give me one.
I got you.
Okay.
Nachos.
Well, okay. I was gonna say nachos maybe under the snack aspect.
Okay, fine.
So nachos.
Entree wise.
Yeah.
Sliders.
Okay.
Sliders.
For me, it would be wings, but they got to be good wings.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want those fat legs. I want good wings. So I would say wings, and I'm pretty simple, but I do like the nachos if we've got ground beef on them and they've got the whole thing. If you're just going to give me ground beef and cheese, forget it. I've got to have a little bit more than that.
I like when people do like creative stuff. Like I may not necessarily like it, but I like that you took a chance. Like I went over to a Super Bowl party. And I'm going to get Q in on the second too. I ask you what are some of your faves, but I went to a Super Bowl party in like 2017, 18, and it was out in, I can't even remember where it was, but they had these pigs in a blanket. Like, and I didn't even think that, I didn't like pig in the blanket before I went there, but the way in which they went about making and prepared it, it was like some gourmet type situation. It was good. They had these weenies that were really good.
They didn't pull it out of
Crack
a box.
jokes if you want
They
to.
didn't pull it out of a box.
No, hell no. I'm not going crazy about stuff out of a box. I mean, although Costco gets it right from time to time.
Yeah.
They came out with a different menu that I wasn't expecting, but once again, it goes back to what I'm saying. They took the time. They gave a presentation like, we're going to invite you over for this Super Bowl Sunday. We want you to experience something. So 1,000%. Q, what about you, man? What are you looking forward to on Super Bowl Sunday? What entree or vibe, appetizer rocks your boat?
Honestly, my cousin, she makes a great rotel. That's like the only thing I'm looking forward to, honestly. And, some good buffalo wings, but, I'm not watching the game, so.
Oh, you're not watching the game?
No.
All right, so you got buffalo wings. That's the key.
Yeah.
Wings it's buffalo. It's not barbecue. It's not garlic.
Well, any type of wing, honestly. Like, you can't go wrong with lemon pepper wings.
I agree. I love the lemon pepper. That's probably my favorite, as long as they're not oversaturated with it, right?
It ain't gotta be like whole bunch of lemon. It ain't gotta be extra.
Yeah.
It's a good amount. Shake it off a little bit and you're good.
Amen to that. And it's got to be the wings. It's not going to be the legs. Super excited to talk with Dave Burkett
1,000%
from the Detroit Free Press. He's had some really good stuff lately, including his conversation with Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown about new offensive coordinator Drew Petzing. And I believe we've got Dave coming up here on the Braylon Edwards show. So when we get him in, we're excited to talk a little football with him.
Excitement. Has excitement level gone up? Last night was a big night. I know we're going to get in that at some point, though, but I had that peg before the season started, man. You know what I'm saying? Most of it.
You had the Roger Craig Hall of Fame peg.
You want to start there just for fun while we're waiting for...
Yeah, it's going to be more than fun. First of all, I think all the Hall of Fame entries are qualified. It's a little surprising that no Belichick and yes Vinatieri, but whatever.
Yeah.
Roger Craig, I was really happy for because he was so emotional. You could tell how much it meant to him. And I thought I've always felt he was an underrated player. Luke Kuechly was a dominant player. Larry Fitzgerald was a dominant player. And I was thinking about you because I know you guys are tight and good friends. Of course, Drew Brees. So I don't have a problem with any of them. It was really a fun way that they presented it.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with any of them as well, and I definitely saw the videos. They always are cool.
Yeah.
Some more emotional, some more exciting than the others. Like Larry's was cool, but I know that story. Like I remember him being a ball boy. I remember conversating with. I remember him telling me he had the cheat code, being out there with Chris Carter and Randy, as a high school kid. So to see that and Randy be the guy, that was dope. Roger Craig, like 1,000%. I thought he was a guy that should get in. He got in. He was definitely a part of that machine that was the 49ers in the 80s. And you and I have been watching that series, so it just fits the mold. And it was perfect that you got Ronnie Lott and you got Charles Haley.
Yeah.
But once again, what I tell you about politics?
You're right. I start to pay more attention to that, but I do love the synergy and the togetherness that Roger Craig has with Christian McCaffrey. There is a special bond between them. And for McCaffrey to win a couple of awards last night, and then after Craig was brought out, and you could see the emotion on his face, and then the shot of Christian McCaffrey, the pride that he had in one of his mentors, one of his close friends now, made me think of you and some of the people who've made you who you were.
100%, because he's a Bay Area kid too. And I think the best thing about Roger Craig is like when you have somebody that's innovative, like it's great when you see him get the recognition they deserve. He's innovative out of the backfield, in the backfield. He could stand there and protect. He wasn't just a one-trick pony as a running back. He is part of the very success that they ushered in the 80s, man. So it was good.
Uber talented, man.
Super talented, too. I was looking at Drew Brees get in, and I was looking at Drew Brees' career, and I was thinking out loud. And we'll get into this a little bit more because you have a great question. But, like, look at Brees. Like, where's he in the pantheon of all-time greats now that Stafford is super? He has something that Drew Brees doesn't have, and they're tied in another regard. Like, how does that play out in this conversation?
Yeah, it's a really good question.
I'm like, is Drew Brees the first ballot Hall of Famer?
He is now. He is now.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if he's deserving of that.
we can look, we can debate this stuff all night long with different people. When you're ranked second all time in passes completed and you're top 5 in yards and touchdowns, and you got a Super Bowl, I think there is a different level for a lot of them. He's an All-Pro.
Yeah, he's got 5,000 like 5 times, and like nobody else has it twice.
Right. Never won an MVP though, right?
Nope.
Yeah. Comeback player of the year, but never won an MVP.
Also, a lot of bad playoff losses.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep. So it is an interesting question, and one that we can pose to Dave Burkett too. Somebody asked this on social media last night, and it made me think: Is Matthew Stafford a top 10 quarterback all time? Now, a lot of people put Rodgers in there. He's got 1 Super Bowl. Now he's got 4 MVP or 3 MVPs, or is it 4? I forget which it is.
Staubach?
No, Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers has 4.
4.
I got stats. I was waiting.
So there's a huge difference there. Some people have Favre in there. He's got 1 Super Bowl. Brees has got 1 Super Bowl. We act as if having only won 1 Super Bowl is a bad thing, when really it's Brady, Montana, and Bradshaw who, and to a certain extent Aikman, Bart Starr, who are the different players.
Right.
Not the common players. So is Matthew Stafford a top 10 player all time? He is an MVP. He's a first-team All-Pro. He's a Super Bowl champion. He is number 6 all time in yards.
Yeah.
And he will be 5th after next year since he's coming back. He is number 6 all time in completions. He'll be 5th next year. And he is number 7 all time in touchdowns. He's 2 away from number 6.
Yeah.
Those are pretty impressive numbers.
They are. Tom Brady, 251 regular season touchdowns. Wins? 250 regular season wins.
Yeah.
35 in the playoffs. Brett Favre, 186, 13 in the playoffs. Peyton Manning, 186, 14. Aaron Rodgers, 163, 12. Drew Brees, 172, 9. John Elway, 148, 14. Joe Montana, 117, 16.
Wow.
Terry Bradshaw, 107, 14. Patrick Mahomes, 94, 15. Roger Staubach, 85, 11. Matthew Stafford.
85 wins for Roger Staubach?
85 wins and 11 playoff games. Less games back then.
Right.
So different era. And then Matt Stafford, 111 and 6.
Wow.
Playoff wins.
Yeah. I got him with 120. Not that it's that much, but I got him with 120 wins.
Okay, fine. I might have been off, but 6.
6 playoff wins. That's it.
6.
Does that hold you back from thinking he is top 10, or is there something else?
I'm still trying to figure out where I put him at, because those that I name are ahead of him, but that's only 9. That's only 9 guys. So that's not Marino. That's not.
You didn't say Elway.
I did say Elway.
Oh, you did.
Elway's 148 and 14.
I'm
sorry if I didn't
I'm
say
sorry.
it.
Yeah, 148.
Yeah, so there's 9 guys right there, and there's some others that I left off. Like, that's where you have to. This is the list right here.
Got you.
Who would you put in front of Matt Stafford on the list as of now? Or those guys?
Would you?
The thing that hurts Matt Stafford wrong word, too strong of a word. Super Bowl MVP. Like, I think if he had the MVP as opposed to Cooper Kupp, see, that's a different conversation.
You're right.
Because now you say Super Bowl MVP, it's like.
And that's where Brees was the MVP.
100%. Yeah. And that kind of makes up for not having the MVP in the regular season, because regular season awards don't matter.
Yeah, I try not to get too hyperbolic, and I try not for us to be all Lions all the time. So do I think he's a top 10 quarterback? I think that's a stretch.
I say no.
I think he's a top 15 quarterback. Is that fair?
It's fair. And the reason why it's fair, arm talent, there's different levels of talent. Like, talent-wise, he's in these conversations and different talent-wise being elite of these things. But as it relates to being a quarterback, as it relates to the overall projection of everything, you can't be top 10 and for your first 12 years not have a playoff win at the quarterback position when drafted first overall. I think you have to take everything into consideration. You're number 1 overall, and you have no playoff wins in 12 years, and so much so that your team feels comfortable in trading you to another team where you start to have that success that ushers you into the Hall of Fame and MVP conversation. Like that's my biggest thing.
That's good.
12 years of no playoff wins, that means you weren't mentioned for 12 years as one of the best players at your position. Like, we knew you had the hell of an arm, and we knew you had 5,000 yards passing, but for 12 years it was like, and we know other things come into play. The front office, coaching, things like that, players you work with, yada, yada, yada. That would be my biggest determinant against.
Then using that philosophy, which I respect, would keep Drew Brees out because he didn't win his first playoff game until 12 years deep. 2013, I believe, he entered the league with San Diego in 2001. Oh, that's probably unfair because he only played one game, but still, that's how deep it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so he didn't win his playoff games because those Saints teams weren't very good. He didn't win those playoff games, I don't believe. Until then.
I'm also okay with that because I don't think Drew Brees is a top 10 quarterback.
Right. That's why I say. I mean, that's why
his numbers and all the other things, I think, but I'm not with the top 10. But what does the top 10 look like?
Yeah, it's a good question. Let me verify that here. Yeah, 2000. I'm sorry. No. 2007. My apologies. Not 2013. 2007.
They won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, 2007 was when he won his first. So it's really only 6 years.
And also too is like look at other elements. I mean, I guess that doesn't matter because Matt Stafford beat Tom, but I was going to say Drew beat Peyton in the Super Bowl.
Right.
And that adds to it.
Sure. Who you play, how you play. Yeah. I mean, if we're going to say Super Bowl MVP means a little bit more, and I think it does.
And who you play matters.
That's
why when you look at cool Joe Montana, who's my favorite, like of the elite.
Me too.
Steve Young is my guy. But Joe Montana, Joe Cool, like I also look at, you and I had this conversation, Joe Montana was a third-round quarterback that was able to have the run that he had. He's 4-0 in the Super Bowl. You watch that and you
Never
see
threw a pick.
He beat Elway twice. He beat Marino. He beat, I guess that was Ken Anderson, Boomer Esiason. But he's beat some talented guys, man. Never threw a pick. Found a way to win these games.
Yeah.
And they weren't necessarily the best team all 4 times.
No, you're right. But when you beat legends, Marino, Elway, you're right. Esiason, not
Falls
so
off
much.
after Ken Anderson.
Yeah, Ken Anderson, not so much. Ken Anderson was
good in
at
the 80s,
but he was good. Yeah, I mean, and you actually had him as one of those guys that you thought might be a little underrated and possible, at least contemplating if he should be in the Hall of Fame.
I'm glad that Larry got in first ballot because when the conversation started, like when I first started working at Woodward Sports, I did my Mount Rushmore, my top 4, and Larry was on it, and somebody that lives in Detroit, played for Detroit, wasn't. Man, the fan base went crazy.
Yeah, I don't see how you could keep Larry Fitzgerald out of there. I mean, Jerry Rice, Jerry Rice is a given. Yeah. So we're ready for Dave Burkett, right, of the Detroit Free Press.
Yes, sir. The
Dave
legend's
Burkett.
on the line.
Yeah, the legend is on the line. And the guy who has the lone vote, by the way, in those postseason awards for the Hall of Fame or is it the Hall of Fame or is it just the postseason awards for Dave Burkett? I think it's the Hall of Fame. So he joins us here from the Detroit Free Press. Dave, thanks, man. How are you, buddy?
Doing well. It's both, Shep. Got votes for both.
Atta baby.
All-Pro, Hall of Fame, all that. But I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Yeah, we're
DB.
doing great, man.
What's up, brother?
In the airport, waiting for a flight home, ready to get home.
Hey, man, we appreciate you taking the time, man.
Long weeks.
Yeah. Are you gold medallion? What are you? Because you fly every week. You're constantly gone. What's the status? Are they just rolling out that red carpet for you?
I wish. But I will say, somehow, I have no idea how. So, Delta, thank you very much for this. I'm platinum, and I don't fly enough to be platinum, but it helps with situations like this. You get the free upgrades. So
you should be in the Sky Lounge, man. You should be talking to us in the Sky Lounge.
Yeah,
right now.
or a pod.
Free Wi-Fi.
Yeah, a pod in first class. There's no question. First, let me ask you about the ceremony last night. Matthew Stafford, MVP. How deserving do you think, if at all? And if you do believe that he was deserving of MVP, is he now solidified as a top 10 quarterback in the history of this sport?
Ooh, top 10. I'm not sure about top 10. I do. Let's start with the vote. I did vote for him for MVP. I put him first, Drake May second. Wrote a little bit about it on Freak.com today. I thought he had the best season. He threw for the most yards. He had the most touchdowns, far and away the most touchdowns. I thought the Rams were the best team for most of the year. Had a little, speed bump at the end there.
A little hiccup.
And you look at, Yeah, you look at who he did it against too. The Rams' strength of schedule, their opponents were like a 520 winning percentage, and the Patriots were like 385. So, I took some of that into account. I think just the play in what I saw with my own two eyes as much as anything too. So I thought he was deserving. I asked him after the ceremony last night, if this is sort of what he had in mind when he asked for that trade 5 years ago, and he said, truthfully, I never, I couldn't have imagined I'd be here with a Super Bowl ring and now an MVP trophy. And he said he was just incredibly grateful. And he did say, those 12 years in Detroit really helped mold him, because without going through the tough times, he's not sure he'd be here now. So he's still appreciative of his time in Detroit. Obviously, the success he's had in LA is incredible. Off the top of my head, I'd say no, he's not a top 10 quarterback of all time. Until recently, I had some doubts about his Hall of Fame candidacy. So I don't think he'd be a top 10 quarterback if that was the case. But he's a really good player, and I've come around on understanding how great he can be.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. That is definitely a real part of the conversation. I mean, 4 years ago, we weren't even talking about him in the Hall of Fame. 2 years ago, we weren't talking about him, first ballot. Now, the conversation shifted with the things that you have. Not saying he is, but the conversation has shifted. Before we bring it back home and talk about the Detroit Lions maybe making a move like the Tigers with Framber Valdez, DB, since you're there, Seattle, the Patriots talk about it. 4.5 is the spread right now. A lot of people don't think Patriots have a shot and chance in hell, which is a place they've been before. What are your thoughts on the Super Bowl and the game before we bring it back to the crib?
Yeah, no, I picked Seattle to win in my prediction for the paper. I think they're the better team, but certainly the Patriots have a shot. I mean, Mike Vrabel, my coach of the year, deserving coach of the year. I think he's done an excellent job maximizing the talent on that roster. I know Drake May hasn't played his best football here in the postseason, but what he can do with the legs in addition to the arm is that can cause some problems. And in a game like this, that defense, they get into Sam Darnold's head. They create a turnover or two. That can be the difference in the game. I like Seattle because I think their defense is so physical. They can run the ball.
Yeah.
Obviously, Darnold's playing pretty good football right now. They're the most balanced of the two teams remaining. But, I think I picked it 27-21, somewhere in that neighborhood. So I guess I have Seattle covering, but I do think it's going to be a pretty close game.
I'm glad you said Vrabel, because as of last night, I thought I was mispronouncing his name all the time, and it was verbal, which is an absolute disgustingly joke with the NFL does. When you look at that, why do you? Why? Yeah, right. Why do you should be presenting? Why do you think, without that high slit in the dress, why do you think this has not received a ton of attention like maybe another matchup might have, or am I wrong there?
No, I mean, I think you're right. It's not the sexiest matchup, right? I mean, you look at the teams even going down the stretch, right? Like Kansas City was out, Baltimore was out, Josh Allen got knocked out early in the playoffs. I mean, the biggest name quarterbacks weren't even in the playoffs on the AFC side for the most part. And the NFC, I think a lot of people thought the Rams were going to be the team. There's sort of that glitz and glamour in LA, and look, Seattle was a better team the last couple of weeks, and they deserve it, and they're probably a better team overall. Again, the way that defense has played all year, as complete a roster as they have. Mike McDonald has done another excellent coach. But it's just, even on Radio Row this week out here in San Francisco, the buzz didn't quite seem to be up to Super Bowl standards in my eyes, and maybe it's because of the matchup. This is logistically out here, but things are so spread out. We are in Radio Rows in San Francisco, and teams are up in San Jose or Santa Clara, and so there's, things just, you're just not around everything as much as you are in New Orleans or, a place like that.
Yeah, 100%. Let's bring it back to the crib. Let's ask you a little bit about the Detroit Lions, a team that you know all too well. They made a hire. Actually, they made two hires as it relates to the offensive coordinator position. They hired Drew Petzing from the Arizona Cardinals, and then a week later they bring in Mike Kafka, who's an individual that we had legitimate interest in before the situation. What were your thoughts on hiring Petzing and then turning around 6 days later and hiring Kafka?
Yeah, let's start with Petzing. I mean, wasn't on my radar going into the search.
Thank you. Okay, finally. I thought I was the only one.
No, I mean, look, I can't lie, right? This is not somebody that was, people were talking about in hush corners or anything like that to the reporters. They kept this pretty well under wraps. And so, I don't have a real strong opinion who he is or what he's going to be. But I will say, talking to a lot of NFL people, guys that played for him, guys that coached with him, people in the Lions organization, everybody speaks incredibly highly of him, his intelligence, of the way I talked to Kyle Rudolph a little bit yesterday. He played with him for about 4 or 5 seasons, maybe 6 seasons in Minnesota. And he said, Drew Petzing is a little part of Kevin Stefanski, and he's a little part of, Norv Turner, and all these guys that he's worked with. Yeah, that he has this background with. He said, he takes every little, the good things from all these guys and he sort of blends them together. And so, the people ignore the numbers, right? Arizona didn't have a great year this year. They did some decent things with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. They ran the ball pretty well the 2 previous years. I think as much as anything, this was about a philosophical fit with Dan Campbell in what he wants this offense to look like. More power running game, multiple tight end sets. Ultimately, that's, in my eyes and from my understanding, that's why Drew Petzing was hired as offensive coordinator.
You had a really insightful article earlier this week, and we talked about it. Yeah. So thank you for that, because you provide a lot of good information for us.
Shout out.
What I thought was interesting is, on your first line, you said Jared Goff has had casual conversations with Drew Petzing. And then later, he said it was a home run hire. So a 2-part question here. How can he call it a home run hire when he's only had casual conversations?
Shep.
And is casual conversation is the casual conversations unique for a quarterback and an OC in your experience? When they first are introduced to one another, if you will.
Well, casual may be fitting within the bounds of the CBA. Jared even said at some point when I asked him about that, he said, "Well, there's a CBA that we have to stay within." So maybe he was playing a little coy there in terms of how much they've talked, right? Officially, you're not supposed to even talk football until the offseason program opens, but we all know that doesn't happen. I mean, the quarterbacks and their coaches get together, will get together, throughout this offseason and sort of work on this. I think Jared has talked to him, and I don't think he's had super extensive conversations with him yet. That doesn't mean they haven't talked football. They've certainly talked football enough for Jared to know that he likes what he hears. And then Jared's other point was talking to quarterbacks, talking to Trey McBride, people at the Pro Bowl. He did talk with Petzing during the interview process, at the very end of the interview process. So those casual conversations that he's had since the hire, maybe he got a little more in depth when he talked to him right at the end of the interview process there. So I don't think that's, those two things are at odds necessarily, but it's way too early to know exactly, what Jared likes in this offense or how this offense is going to look. I think, they need to get together a whole lot more, and really this offseason program needs to start in a couple months before we know.
It's a great answer.
Hey, DB, we appreciate you for joining us, man. We don't want to keep you from your flight. I'm going to ask you 2 quick ones. The first one is, what were your thoughts when you heard Framber Valdez was now a Detroit Tiger? And what were your thoughts? Because, we've been waiting in the city for a GM to
pull the trigger, right?
Yeah, there we go.
Well, hey, first, I forgot to answer your Mike Kafka question earlier, Bray. So let me say that first. We were texting the other day, and I've written this. Dan Campbell has the same agent as Drew Petzing and Mike Kafka, and I'm not saying that's why they were hired. But if there was a tiebreaker when Mike Kafka didn't get an offensive coordinator job, maybe that helped the Lions land Kafka. Maybe some of that familiarity helped Dan connect with Petzing and helped him connect with Kafka. Jameis Winston told me yesterday, he said, man, he's a super bright guy. He's walking around. I don't know if you guys have been to Radio Row, Super Bowl, this stuff in a while. These guys are surrounded by handlers, and the bigger the name, the harder it is to get to. And Jameis is walking out, and he's got 5 or 6 guys that are preventing him from talking to people. And I was like, Jameis, one question about Mike Kafka. And he stopped, and he put his arm around my shoulder, and he's like, come on, walk with me. And so that told me how much he thought of Mike Kafka right there as we were walking to the next interview that he was going to. And, we spent 90 seconds talking about Mike Kafka, so it's not like it was some in-depth conversation, but he appreciated Mike Kafka enough to share what, he thought about Mike Kafka going to the Lions.
Great insight.
That being said, hey, Framber Valdez, maybe this means the Tigers are going for it, right? You got Scuba for 1 year in theory, and you might as well maximize it and see what you can do. And the way the Tigers are constructed, it's going to be with that pitching staff. You get Scuba and Valdez going 1-2 in a series. That's a pretty big start if you're a playoff team.
Second best percentage in the American League right now, Dave, behind Seattle. That's what they say.
Going into the rest of the offseason, what are the 3 positions that you think the Detroit Lions need most? 3 positions from now to the draft. In order.
Yeah, center, and center, probably. That's my 3.
Yeah, we'll take it.
No.
We'll take it.
I mean, you know, I think what happened on the offensive line last year was that was the biggest reason they took a step back. So I do think they have to address the offensive line, and you can't wait till the draft to get a center because you don't know who's going to be there. So I think they do need to sign a veteran center, whoever the best one available is. Maybe it's Tyler Linderbaum. He could stay in Baltimore. He could go to the Giants with his old coach, John Harbaugh. Buffalo's got a pretty decent one coming free. So I think the Lions will have options there. I still think they need a number 2 pass rusher, especially when you consider Elquidin Muhammad, Marcus Davenport.
Max Crosby.
The line is free agents right now. Max would be, I'd sign off on that because I'm definitely in the Framber Valdez boat where, hey, you got to go for try to capitalize on that window when you're in it.
Talk to him.
Mm-hmm. I think you need a safety too. It's not maybe the biggest need, but just given the injury status of Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch, I think it has to be a priority because I thought the defense played pretty well earlier in the year, and it sort of fell apart when those 2 guys were out. And as much as the Lions still believe both those guys are part of their long-term future, or say both those guys are part of their long-term future, you can't go into a season where you expect to contend for a championship uncertain if either of those guys will be ready for week 1. So I'd like to see them do something at that position as well.
He cooking.
We could talk to you. We could literally talk to you all day, but you've got a flight to catch. I hope you get a chance to rest. I think what people forget about you guys as writers is that it really never ends. It never ends. Dave this is not the football calendar. It may be for Matthew Stafford now. Dave is still working constantly. We hope you get a chance to visit and spend some time with your family. We appreciate the time today, Dave. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl, man.
April. Rest is coming in April. We got Combine and free agency. We'll be
there we go.
All right.
DB, thanks for always joining us.
First class.
Safe
Free press. I'll send you first class. Man, we'll vouch for you, baby. All right, man.
Appreciate you, DB.
All the best. All right. Dave Burkett. Great
always
stuff
love
for the free
talking to
press.
Dave.
Yeah.
Fire.
Very knowledgeable.
That's my guy, man.
Yeah, very knowledgeable.
Always takes the time,
the guy, he does. The guy who's on the inside of the Detroit Lions. I will say this. When I first got into this business, I always thought, media, interviewing media. Dave's so good. We don't know it all.
Yeah.
Okay. And here's a guy who's with them every single day. Why wouldn't you tap into that type of knowledge? And I love what he had to say about Petzing, about Kafka, about going for it, and about this team's needs. So I think a lot of people got a lot out of that.
Yeah, 100%, man. I know we're way behind, but to that point, you don't know what you don't know. And when you have somebody on the inside like that, and somebody as honest like Dave, like you can now see different layers of a conversation. The one thing he said about Petzing, hey, look, this is what they wanted. They wanted to go back to the run. This is the identity. This is the frame of work. When you really get behind it, everybody that he maybe coached or played with, not everybody, a lot of people that he's coached, a lot of people that he's played with, they understand. They said it's a good hire. But he added that layer about Kafka.
Yeah.
He had that layer about Jameis Winston. Let me tell you about Kafka. Also, he said, hey, look, maybe it came down to those two, and then you picked the one, and then the one still was available. Let's find a way to make this work. So that was good stuff right there, man.
Yeah.
That's really good stuff.
Yeah, really good stuff. So we appreciate him taking the time. Appreciate you reaching out to a good friend of the program to get that done. Quick timeout, and then back with plenty of football discussion, including a Super Bowl quiz a little bit later on. Dr. Jeffrey Pierce will join us to talk about some of the injuries that are affecting the Super Bowl and then some. But first, Vin Johnson.
Vin Johnson, he is the man. He and his law firm, they will make sure that you get the settlement or the verdict that you want. He is a fighter. Let him fight for you, man. He doesn't care what it is. They're going to get you that verdict that you deserve. Reach out to him at venfights.com. Like I said, they want all the smoke. They've been doing this for decades, and they're just happy to fight. So might as well put them in the corner and let them fight for you.
Woodward Sports and Art and Jakes have a huge doubleheader of events coming your way. We're going to bring you round 2 of the Michigan State Hoops Watch Party this Saturday, March 8th. Well, not this Saturday, but when it comes around, March 8th, at Art and Jakes in Northville. Got the rivalry, wall-to-wall screens, great food, cold drinks, perfect for you. And then we keep it rolling Monday, March 10th. That's when our teammate, Darren McCarty, the Red Wings legend, brings his slapstick comedy show to Art and Jake's in Northville at 7 o'clock. Hoops on a Saturday, D-Mac on a Monday. What a double dip. Get to Art and Jake's in Northville and play in the action.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill Sub-Zero, icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill Sub-Zero.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shepard Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Big news at Planet Fitness. All new members receive their first month free. Deal ends Friday, February 13th. So you want to hurry up and get in on that because that is next Friday. I'm telling you, get your first month free. That's major because now you get the first month free. Now you get into the gym. Now you get into the consistency. And guess what? Now you're stuck getting in shape. There's nothing wrong with being stuck getting in shape. In 2026, we're inviting everyone to the gym, whether experienced, routine gym goers, or beginners just starting their fitness journey. Do it here at Woodward Sports and Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. That planet is Planet Fitness.
Did leg day today. That's why I'm limping.
Okay.
Sundays in Detroit just got a lot smoother, but not just because of Super Bowl Sunday. But you could also say just about any day that ends in Y. When the Pistons are playing, it got smoother. When the Red Wings are playing, it got smoother. When the Tigers start to play, and Framber Valdez at $38 million, and Tarek Skubal at $32 million, it's going to be a lot smoother because of Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. You know, we're going to Art and Jake's for that March 8th matchup between Michigan and Michigan State. Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea, one of their best sellers, without question. No bubbles, just a clean, crisp sip, and you'll enjoy every single sip. Please drink responsibly.
And we back. What up, though, Shep?
Can I say that? What up, though? How are you?
Oh, that was clean.
If I tried that at home, my kids would literally stop whatever they're doing. They would stop whatever the hell they're doing. They're going, are you kidding?
Right.
I want to make sure we keep up to speed on the chats. Anything that's jumping out at you in the chats, whether it be a super chat or some type of theme right now.
You know what? This one is jumping out at me. Michael Wary, shout out. Super Bowl party is nothing without wings. That's a $2 super chat, and this is
Not a
the
baby,
other half
Michael.
of that.
Not a baby.
And Freddie Felt with the 313 super Freddie Felt 313 with the 199 super chat.
Okay.
I just got like wings now. Like I really want to get some wings, so I'm talking a little too fast. Let me slow down.
That's right.
The $64,000 question: drums or flats? He says he's all flats. You gotta have some
Drums or flats? So we're not talking music here. Drums. That's the chicken. The short, smart chicken legs.
Yeah.
Right? I'm flats.
Flats all day
long.
too?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I bypass the drums. I don't even want them. I think they're too fatty. What do you think?
I grew up on drums, but as of maybe with even in the last year to 3 at the most, I'd say I've now come to the point where I'm 50-50. Like if I'm going to a spot, I want half flats and I want half drums. Can't give up the drums, but I really appreciate flats nowadays. So I'm split. But I was drums Kool-Aid until like 3 years ago.
I'm more similar story but different ratio. I'm still 2/3 drums, but it used to be for me like I grew up it was drums, and now I realize why. Because my parents was taking the flats. That's why that was happening.
There you
So
go.
I grew up on the drums. I appreciate them, but as I got older, wifey always gets flats. One day I went and snuck some, and I was like, "Oh dang, I'm hooked now."
What I appreciate
like some
about
flats for
wifey.
What I like about the flats is
Queen Kool-Aid.
This is a chicken conversation, so you can say what you want to about it. But the meat in the flats, like it's a little bit more, tender and succulent, if you will, as opposed to the drumsticks. A lot of times it's a little harder on that drumstick. It's a little thicker, if you will.
Agreed.
So yeah.
Can I ask your opinion? Because I asked this of Q a little bit ago.
Q.
What would be the flavor? Okay, we've got honey ranch. You've got spicy ranch. You've got honey hot wings. You've got crispy ginger. You've got barbecue, right?
Then you got the dry rubs.
Dry rubs.
You're a dry rub guy?
I like.
I don't like my fingers getting all messy anymore. Because I prefer buffalo, if we're gonna be honest. But,
Okay.
But buffalo, little fingers all in my mouth. So no, I'm more dry rub now.
Okay.
And I'm not heavy on the ranch anymore.
And they're not claiming boneless wings in the chat. Some people.
Now, those aren't wings.
Different players said that's a chicken nugget.
First of all,
that is a chicken.
So you're not
no,
messing with the ranch?
what it is something that was created, the wrong way.
Gotcha.
I'll be messing with them.
Yeah. I like the
Boneless
Q and I both. What did we agree on? Did we agree
Chickens
on
don't
that?
come
Q, or
boneless.
did you have something different? Because you had the barbecue, right?
Yeah. Mine was lemon pepper wings and rotel and buffalo wings.
Yeah, I like the garlic or lemon pepper. That's my favorite.
Like Cajun.
Wait. What type of lemon pepper though? Where's your lemon pepper coming from, Q?
Whatever place
One
I'm getting them from.
of the fish and chicken spots, anywhere one of those spots in Detroit, and I'm telling you, bro, that's the white powder one.
See, that's
the
yes,
spots too now.
yes.
The white powder one.
Dude, he's
With the grease
making
on the
his
white.
own. He's making his own.
He's making his own.
Hey, I could whip in the kitchen. Y'all,
Oh,
y'all pull
snap.
up.
You gotta let us know.
Yeah.
You just told us you could
Thank
cook.
you. Thank you.
He just saw
All
it.
right,
Why the hell are we just finding this out
Say
now?
less.
Because I'm an intern, but I'm getting there.
Listen,
See?
part of being an intern is to teach people about you. It should have been one of the first things you said.
He don't know about Shep and food.
Knowing that
He
we
should
are
have
an
came on the show
afternoon
and said,
show.
"How you doing? I cook chicken."
Exactly. How you doing? My name is Q. One of my specialties is not just the audio booth, but
whip it in the
I'm really good in the kitchen with chicken wings. The answer to that would be, welcome, where are they?
Shep don't play about food,
Sorry.
especially wings, though, kid.
It's so
Especially
good.
wings.
So good. What's the thing that jumped out at you from Dave Burkett more than anything else in that conversation?
I wanted to ask him about Sheila's letter and forgot. I think it would have to be the conversation about Drew Petzing is right and Mike Kafka.
Me too.
That was the conversation. It was a conversation about Petzing because that's not what I heard. I heard people talk about in the opposite. Say people that work with Kafka or played for Kafka, Petzing in the last year or so. They said he was hard to deal with. Say he was hard to tolerate. Say hard to be around, if you will. Even the media. But you got to be careful with the media when somebody leaves that city because they're not necessarily going to say good things. So I took that. So when he comes on and he gives the opposite, talk about the genius or talk about people playing with him, believing in him and his brand of football, his style of football. And then he asked the conversation about Mike Kafka. Maybe this is a situation where they wanted both of them. And then maybe a situation after they chose Petzing, Kafka was still available. come out with a deal, came up with a position.
Yep.
Say, hey, look, would you like to have you here in a stopgap year while you're waiting to see what next year is? So it sounded, it gave me more to, not still make a decision on, but it put me at ease, if you will, for now.
Well, you've told us for a long time about a lot of the politics that are involved in sports with, and connections. And I don't have a problem with that. I mean, if Braylon Edwards were the head coach and he hired his good friend Jermaine Gonzalez as one of his offensive coordinators, I'm fine with that because you trust him and you have been around him and you're confident in him, or vice versa. Yeah. Should it bother us as a fan base that one of the things that links Dan Campbell, Petzing, and Kafka is their agent? Because I don't view that as really important. I think the most important thing is fit and how you're going to make your current personnel better. Why do we have to link the agent in all of this?
Because if it's an individual that, one, wasn't on your radar, two, you didn't hear good things about, and three, you look at the spot and the situation he came from, and it wasn't a good one. Regardless of how you sliced the tomatoes, it wasn't a good one. So you add all that, and then you give me that small snippet where you're like, hey, also these guys have the same agent. It's like, there it is. So now I'm able to, I don't like it so far because of these, so I'm looking as why, and then when you give me that becomes the why in my, understanding mind.
All right, let me shift. Let me shift to the Super Bowl a little bit. Super Bowl. Not that I want your prediction just yet.
All right. So what I'm thinking is,
but I did find something odd that broke a couple of days ago. Tom Brady has come out and said, in so many words, "I don't have a dog in this fight." And to me, that is so disingenuous. It's not too dissimilar than what the NFL did last night. I think it was an embarrassing moment for the National Football League. I do.
To put Vinatieri in and not Kraft and Belichick?
No. To have people up there who can't pronounce Jackson Smith and Jigba and can't pronounce Mike Vrabel. Yeah. When you have these, you know this. Yeah. You have these award ceremonies, because you've been to them more than I have.
Yeah, my name hasn't always been Braylon. I'll say that.
I bet.
Always been Braylon.
It's unbelievable. You have dry runs.
Yeah.
You have people who are there to coach you a little bit if you're not familiar with the space. What is the NFL's love affair with having people who are outside of the realm of football to try and present these awards when they make an embarrassing mistake time and time again? But I digress.
To answer that question before we get to the Tom Brady stuff is because the NFL for so long was just to themselves. Like the NFL was a product outside of the merch and things like that, and the commercials, especially around this time of year, they were to themselves. They weren't letting people into the world. They weren't caring about what people wanted and who people wanted to see and how they wanted this game and this excitement around it to be perceived. You're at the NFL honors, kind of in the ESPYs way. Now you want the jokes, you want the pandering, you want the stuff like that. You want to say we don't take ourselves so serious. We're not the no fun league. We're fun.
Yeah.
So I think that's why, and they don't care, and they'll apologize to him. As it relates to Tom Brady,
to say you don't have a dog in the fight after what you've done, they've got a statue outside Foxborough for you.
Which last year, when you got the statue unveiled, what did you say? I am a patriot for life. That's exactly what you said. Yeah. This is how I view the situation. Every GOAT, every person that's a GOAT, like not in the consideration, I'm talking about like one or two. They have a level of arrogance. They have a level of selfishness. For as much as you talk about Tom being a great teammate and this, that, and the third, I don't care Jeff Saturday. Yeah. I'm not talking about him being a great teammate. I don't care. Insert one of the McCourty twins or whoever else played with him. Right. It's not about that. Tom is a great teammate, but this was about Tom.
Yeah.
This is about Tom creating some controversy because who's not doing the Super Bowl this year? Oh no, it's not Fox.
Yeah, right.
So he's not going to be a part of the game. But the Patriots are, but not with him.
Right.
So now this is him, and also that guy was up for Super Bowl. Up for MVP. This is Tom, not using his name, but creating energy about himself. Super Bowl weekend. Now we're talking about Tom and the Patriots versus other things. So I think that was on purpose on his part.
Sure.
I'm gonna do it this way, and then also it is a little bit of the element where one, I work on a network, and then two, I have a little stake in the Las Vegas Raiders. But those two things are very small compared to the arrogant side. We're like, I'm going to make them think about the GOAT.
I thought, when you spend 23 years in the league and 20 come in one team, I thought it was more about him towing the company line, trying to be politically correct, doesn't want to piss too many people off. And what
You're
does
Tom
he do?
Brady. Who are you pissing off?
Exactly. Mike Vrabel helped you win 3 Super Bowls, and Mike
1000%.
Vrabel is on the sideline. Would we hold it against him if he's
thrown him 15 touchdowns?
Would you have a problem if Tom Brady actually said, "Yeah, look, I played 20 years in New England. I'm good friends with Robert Kraft. My good friend is coaching, so yeah, I'm looking for a really good game. But I'd be lying if I didn't root for New England." Do you think people in Seattle are going to revolt? They're revolting about other stuff, not about that. Okay. Here's the last thing I want to get to before we go to the top of the hour.
Can I say something else on that? Yeah. Somebody else did something similar to that, and I still have not let him live it down. 3 years ago, Ohio State-Michigan game, it's that week.
Mm-hmm.
The Detroit Lions media, they're in the locker room, and they're interviewing a certain player that played at the University of Michigan, and what was his conversation? Meanwhile, a year prior when he was at the Heisman, and Desmond Howard cracked a joke on Ohio State, Aiden Hutchinson was smiling and laughing very hard. But then they asked Aiden Hutchinson before the Ohio State-Michigan game 2022, said, who do you think is going to win? He said, who do you want to win? He said, man, I just hope it's a good game.
Oh, my God.
Like, Aiden,
I've forgotten that.
Aiden, you're Michigan royalty. Somebody asked you about the Michigan-Ohio State game. To me, it's an easy answer.
Absolutely it is.
It's a very easy answer. F those guys in Columbus.
Absolutely.
Like, that's what it is.
Because that's how you played. That's what you used to say when you were a player.
But this is the world we live in now, where people feel the need to be political when there's no need to be political. You never played at Ohio State.
Right.
It's not them asking you about 2 teams you played for. You never played for Seattle, Tom.
Oh, and by the way, by you towing that company line, no one from Ohio State's going to go, oh, you know what? I really like Aiden Hutchinson.
Bravo.
No, seriously.
No
bravo.
Seahawks are going to be like, you know what? I'm not mad we lost to them. You're still mad you lost to Tom Brady.
Yeah. There's not many people who can pull it off. I mean, Gus Johnson could pull it off.
Yeah.
Because he could sit there and literally root for Michigan and yet give Ohio State a tailback his signed flip chart after he had a really good game in the Big Ten Championship.
Yeah.
But Mike Tirico doesn't. He went to Syracuse. He doesn't have. He can be that balance.
He lives in Ann Arbor, though.
He does.
He gets a little excited when the Wolverines, doing a little something.
Let me ask you one more question, and this says about last night. You know how I feel about Jackson Smith and Jigba, right?
Yeah.
I think he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
All right. There is a CBS poll recently that had the top 15 wide receivers that I want to talk to you about after the break. But this is interesting. Okay, I'm going to read you some statistics. 127 catches.
Yep.
This is player A and player B. You ready?
Oh, I swear, I know it's coming.
Hang in there.
I know it's coming.
127 catches for player A. 1,708 yards for player A. 17 touchdowns for player A. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Player B, 119 catches, so 8 less. 1,793 yards, 81 yards more, and 7 fewer touchdowns.
Right.
That's player B. Who had the better year?
Touchdowns?
The touchdowns?
Touchdowns.
Okay. So the first guy with more catches, slightly fewer yards, and much more touchdowns, and did it without his starting quarterback, is Jamar Chase.
I knew it. I knew who it was.
The player B is Jackson Smith and Jigba, who won Offensive Player of the Year. Jamar Chase didn't get a vote.
Yeah, you know why? Because Jamar Chase spit in somebody's face.
Oh. Holding it back.
Jamar Chase spit in somebody's face, they're not overlooking that. Like,
Gotcha.
In this new NFL, in this new world of sport, we're letting you guys do a lot.
Yeah.
We're letting people get away with a lot of stuff. We're letting you do a lot. We don't want to mess up your brand. We don't want to mess up the fun. But there's certain things you do. When you do it, we're going to punish you. You cannot spit in someone's face on national TV with all these 8Ks and all these camera angles. Same thing that happened to Jalen Carter. First game of the year, you spit in Dak Prescott's face. Congratulations, you're on the poop list. You're on the poop list. It takes a while to get off that list.
I might need to take a segment.
So that's what that is.
But those are interesting numbers, don't you think?
Poop list.
I think sometimes, we should. That should be a segment.
Yes.
Braylon's poop list, brought to you by this sewer company. But anyway,
his quarterback did the same thing last year. Look at Joe Burrow's stats last year, and look what he finished in MVP. They losers.
Yeah,
consistent then.
Right,
losing.
That hurts him too. Last thing before break, kind of it's somewhat breaking news.
So unassuming as a player. Like if you told me all those stats, all those things, how great he was, to throw a helmet on and show me all the players, and then you passed me a card and said, "That's who he is." I'm like, man, that ain't him.
Yeah, I look like
That's
one of
not
the players'
guy.
cousins or something.
1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%.
That's crazy.
All right, breaking news real quick, just because we did it yesterday. We talked about it. Prosecutors in Center County say they're withdrawing the felony aggravated assault charge against Penn State hockey player Gavin McKenna.
It's a win.
All right.
Win for the good guys.
Just so you know.
Yep.
All right, when we come back, we do got some Super Bowl stuff that I want to talk to Bray about. Top 15 receivers, where he sees Amon-Ra St. Brown, maybe Jamison Williams, based on one football website. And we've got some questions regarding Super Bowl history for Braylon Edwards, and something for maybe you to ponder as well. But after this.
Does this go back to Reed Nitschke?
No, it doesn't go that far back. I wouldn't do that to you. After this, from Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning. Yeah, it's a little bit warmer out there today. That's good. Either way, you want to make sure that your furnace and your air conditioning unit are in good shape, because you're going to need them at some point. You don't want to trust that to anybody you don't know. Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning knows you. They know your products. They know your neighborhood. They have perfected this for the last 40 years, making sure your heating or cooling system is running safely and efficiently all season long. Check them out today, 734-238-3805. That's Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning, 734-238-3805. And tell them the Braylon Edwards Show sent.
I don't blow smoke, I pump gas. I do what I say, and what I tell you guys about, I go to those same places. Jack's Car Wash, my car is sitting there right now. I cannot wait to come into it. They knocked the snow off, the salt off, and they got my car right. They can do it for you too. Here's how. Text WSN to 888-522-1729. Get yourself a free car wash. And while you're there, take advantage of the unlimited plan. I've been taking advantage. Even before I worked at Woodward Sports and even knew we were partnered up, I had the unlimited plan. Free vacuums, free compressed air. They got all the things, and they do it with a smile on their face. Pull up at a Jack's Car Wash near you today.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Mind.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill sub-zero. Icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill sub-zero.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
It's game on at Art and Jake's. Wings, burgers, pizza, and ice-cold drinks served up with attention to detail. Wall-to-wall TVs, great service, and a vibe that keeps your crew coming back. Art and Jake's, a sports bar setting with a fine dining flavor.
No one gives gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, you know, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. We got Tully, everybody. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Find your sun with Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Cold, refreshing, and made for moments like these all year long. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
When you have everything you need to get stronger, just around the corner, you can give everything you've got.
Just 30 more seconds.
With over 2,800 locations, there's always a Planet Fitness near you. Join the club today and get your first month free. Just $1 down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, February 13th.
See what you got.
Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
If you're looking to take your relaxation to the next level, and I know that you are, then go ahead and scan that QR code right there and get a jump on this information. It's important. You guys want to visit the Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills because it is the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest. And from personal experience, Kool-Aid's telling y'all, get down there. Other people, I'm telling you, from Spinny, other hosts, they will tell you, get there. Bray will tell you, get there. They got top brands like Infinity and Osaki. You got to remember that when you go for your visit and experience the difference with Dr. Eric Duncan, the Wellness Doc and creator of the #1 YouTube channel for massage chair reviews at The Wellness Doc. Book your visit today at massagechairhouse.com or simply scan the QR code on your screen. Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation. And we back.
And we back in the building.
Have you ever had a burger without fries?
Yeah, but it's so
It feels like something's
so rare.
missing, though, when that happens.
No, I didn't want to know how you had it cooked. Rare. I was wondering if you had it with fries or without fries.
Oh, I have a burger with fries. From time to time, you know.
Just kidding.
Fries are the most unhealthy parts. Like for me, I fight this battle where I love fries to death. Fries are one of my favorite things in this world. I think it's most people.
I feel attacked.
So I
right
run
now.
from them, but every once in a while, it's like,
Yeah.
come to
But
the fries.
how do you do that?
Come
How do
to
you
the
stay
fries.
so
Like you
disciplined and
Morpheus.
not eat them more if you like them that much?
It's just about what I like the most. And what I like the most are, and it's gonna sound real narcissistic, but it's the compliments. It's me. It's looking in the gym and being like, yo, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm 43 and I look better than these 20-year-olds.
Right.
So for me, look, it's real. Shoot, you see what it is. So in that being it, those urges where I'm like, man, let me just pull up. Get out of here, Q. It's like sometimes, all right, bet. Let me just pull up. I can go to Sweetwater and grab some fries. Nah, I know what the result is gonna be. I can pull up and do this, and well, it's only so. Today's Friday, so I'm indulging.
Amen.
But the other 6,
You
it's
can
like,
take the fries back.
And Super Bowl Sunday, I will indulge.
Well,
on
okay.
Sunday.
And thank you because you got us Savvy Sliders, which is fantastic.
Shout
And they've
out,
got a
man.
little kick in their fries.
Cajuns, hey, that's my favorite. Is
love
Cajun
Cajun.
rub on fries and
Kool-Aid's talking with
wings.
his mouth full.
I'm sorry.
my right now my lips are a little bit twinged because of the
And I didn't get you guys any water. Sorry.
because of the seasoned fries that are fantastic. If you had your favorite fries, would it be the thin fries? Would it be the curly fries? Would it be the what do you call those? The
steak fries.
Well, I was going to say those crinkle fries, steak fries, or what's the last one?
Shoestring.
Shoestring. Oh, well, the shoestring is kind of like the thin fries.
Waffle.
Or waffle. Yeah. What would it be?
I told you I like fries.
Yeah, I know. You are a fry expert. Right.
Give me number one. Give me McDonald's in '92. I'm taking you through my life. Give me because that's when they still use like the old school oil. That's the old school recipe. Like those fries are undefeated with a little bit of salt. Give me those. Number two. Give me Cajun fries. The Cajuns. What do you call them?
Would you do the is that where the crinkle fry comes in, or what would you?
I guess
say?
I'm going too specific.
Yeah.
Just give me the old school McDonald's fries. Give me the wedge fries, not wedge. The
steak fries.
Steak fries too, and then give me the waffle fries 3, with the curly fries 4.
All I can speak to is favorite and least. My favorite are the thin fries, for sure. The shoestring potatoes. That's what I gravitate toward. And then last are the steak fries, the thick ones where there's too much potato. If I'm going to get a fry, I want the fry all the way through. So that's where I'm.
So you
going
don't feel like you're eating a smaller version of a baked potato.
That's exactly what I feel like I'm eating. And if that's the case, then I'm going to need some cheese
so
on it, some bacon.
You don't like
right.
I got you.
I like the
That's
crisp.
fair.
I actually like them just like a little bit burnt. That's my favorite, right?
Okay.
My son makes these great ones. He takes his time. He cuts up a baked potato. Mm-hmm. Well, not a baked potato. He cuts up a potato and then puts them in some and seasons them a certain way, not too heavy, and then cooks them just perfectly. And they are fantastic. Just as good as any restaurant I've ever had.
Shep's a foodie. This is the segment that we
absolute foodie,
This
man.
is the segment that we need. You focus so much on, hey, what can we do? We gotta get you on the board and do this. Or Braylon, we gotta ask you some trivia. We need to have a food segment, a foodie segment. We gotta figure out a way around it. But a food segment will be fun. It'd be dope, and it could be spearheaded by the foodie himself.
No, my palate's not developed enough. It isn't. I'm a very simple person. My wife complains I like the same stuff all the time, and she's right. Okay,
there's
now
the show. That's the show.
Is that high maintenance or is that being simple?
So, I don't like calling you simple, but it's simple.
It's okay.
It's basically I like what I like.
I like what I like, and I don't deviate.
So the plan would be to do a cooking type segment, not cooking, but food segment where we try to expand your palate.
Yeah, that's going to be hard, but I would be willing to try because you've helped me with that.
Right.
You've helped me a little bit.
But I would like you shooting stuff down on air. That'd be dope. Oh no, this is awful.
This is not happening.
So I would love that.
I did that once. I wouldn't say I got in a little bit of trouble, but they wanted more from me. We did that in Seattle in the booth during the Tigers broadcast. They brought up fried crickets. Is that what it is?
Huh?
Crickets. Yeah.
Like real crickets?
Yeah, real crickets. Because they sell them. Sell them.
This must have been a Tijuana thing.
So we all tried them.
Ugh.
And it tasted like dirt to me. And
shocking.
Yeah, I know. And I'm like, this is not it.
But kudos to you for trying it, because they would have handed me a cricket. It'd been my last day on the job.
Yeah. Well, it almost was. Kool-Aid, what kind of fries do you like?
You know what? Love
the
crinkle
ones
fries,
I'm eating.
But I love crinkle fries.
The ones
Those
that are in my mouth right now.
Honestly, shout out to the crinkle fry. But waffle fries, man, especially from the childhood. Pops went to Michigan. They had Red Hot Lovers on the campus, and that was like our Friday thing, man. I just grew up on those, and so obviously Chick-fil-A got them, and it's tough. Like you hear him talking about
Chick-fil-A,
having to drive by McDonald's, and I see other people in the chat that
fat
can relate
guys,
with
Cajun
you.
fries go
It's
hard.
Chick-fil-A waffle fries for me, man. My mom, she takes a potato and she'll cut it up, and she'll cut up some onions, garlic, and just saute those up. When you said you like your fries a little burnt, she makes sure that it has like a little bit of that burnt edge on the potatoes. It's perfect, man.
Next time we go to Ann Arbor,
Love
you
that.
and I are going to stop by a place called Mr. Spots, and I don't mind saying on the show because this is from my collegiate days.
That's right.
That's the first place I ate when I went there. Those loaded cheese and bean fries from Mr. Spots with their
Dude,
waffle.
The steak and cheese sandwiches there are out of sight as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll have to run on the treadmill all week to get rid of it, but it is really good.
Why is everyone talking about? Dang, yeah.
So somebody just
tater
put,
tots.
Somebody just tater tots are good.
Yeah.
They've got to be crispy though.
They
all right,
have
they have
to
to be.
be.
Yeah. Somebody put chili cheese fries in there, which is
Coney Island.
That is so good. I mean
that's
good
a
for.
staple.
I'm pissed that I missed that. So Denver Blair, way to go! Chili cheese fries. I mean that is like.
Who has
like
the best chili cheese fries?
Well, that's a good question.
Best chili cheese fries that I ever had was when I was going to King. This is Motor City, Coney Island.
Okay.
Like right by the
I'll buy
CVS on Jefferson.
I'll buy that.
I used to skip class to get these fries. Maybe.
You realize Mom was watching.
No, Mom knows because this story is why I no longer went to King. Like,
Talk to me.
I legitimately skipped class one day, went and got these fries in Motor City, hung out with my boys. I went during the class. I had an A in, by the way. Let me just throw that out there. I had an A in this class, and then there was lunch, and then there was another class that had a B in. So anyway, go to this. Police pull up as we jumping in the car afterwards. It's like, yo, let me see your schedules, because you can leave if it's cafeteria time for your lunch. If it's a regular class, you get in trouble. They saw my class schedule, saw that I was in a class. They had to follow them back to King. They walked us in the office. And then Mr. Morgan, he called my mom and told him I got caught skipping class. Didn't matter that I had a 3.4. Didn't matter that I was cool with all the teachers. Didn't matter that I was doing all the things I was supposed to be doing except going to class. So my mom, legitimately, this is right before Christmas vacation, 99.
Okay.
I was on punishment all Christmas vacation. And then my first day of class, back to King High School. I go to school, talk to my friends, a regular day, the whole 9 yards, chop it up. I'm kicking it, thinking about, all right, football season's over. This is my junior year. This is the home stretch. I'm about to be a senior. I'm about to get my Letterman jacket. I had just got the Letterman jacket. I had my letter. I'm about to do all the things. Come up to my mom's car after school was over. Yes, I still rode home with my mom my junior year. I wasn't as privileged as a lot of you individuals. And don't you know, my mom said, how was school today? I said, it was cool. I said, it was good. Class was all right. My boys was cool. She said, good. It's your last day at Martin Luther King. I was at Bishop Gallagher the next day.
Wow.
So
the next day?
The very next day.
Wow.
I was on 94 Ross. So.
What was your reaction to that? I mean, there had to be some pushback.
No, because everybody was in on it. Like, my dad was in on the move. My mom was in on the move. My stepdad was in on the move. My stepmom
You weren't
was
winning.
in on the
You
move.
weren't winning that battle.
Nope, it was nowhere to go. So it was like
all over chili cheese fries because this place had such good chili cheese fries.
Yeah.
That's why you left Detroit King.
That's what I saw when I was 16 years old. That's how I saw it. At 42, I'm like, yeah, I'm skipping class down there in Jefferson. They like, man, this boy, he may not even end up back at King. He doesn't even realize the dangers that are around. So.
Well, I would say it's a good reason, but apparently it's not good enough.
It worked out. I got to Michigan because I damn sure wasn't getting to Michigan from King at wide receiver.
At wide receiver.
At wide receiver.
All right. Speaking of wide receiver.
Ooh, segue there.
Yeah, very, very good segue. Speaking of wide receiver, I saw this article, and I immediately thought of you at CBSSports.com. They gave the top 15 wide receivers in the National Football League. So this is obviously not gospel. It doesn't mean that it's right, okay? But it does make you think a little bit. So, by the way, before I move on, I'm sorry. Q, what's your favorite fry? I want to make sure Q's in there.
All of them.
Oh, if I had to say my favorite fries, off the rip, nobody said the old school Wendy's fries when they came like the yellow.
Okay.
Oh, the
yeah, old school. Biggie.
Yeah.
The Biggie fries,
and then
yeah.
you got Arby's fries and Checkers.
Yeah.
Nobody mentioned Checker fries.
I said curly, and when I was thinking curly, I'm thinking Checkers to your point.
The reason we
That's
didn't
fair.
do that, Q, is because we don't like giving free advertising. So we just made the type of fry, not where you're getting the fries from.
I like
except
where his head was
Kool-Aid.
at,
Except Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid deviated just a little bit because of the waffle fries.
Okay.
Right.
To your point about the place that has a girl with the red hair, see, that's how you got to do it with Shep. So the girl with the red hair, I think because of how bad their fall off has been, I tend to forget.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna lie, when I was like when I was in Michigan, the Union, like I can tell you legitimately, I went to that place for that reason, and the cheese sauce and the 5-piece and blah blah blah.
But he didn't skip class doing it at Michigan.
Probably 200 times a year.
Oh,
for 3, because everybody's going like it's just a quick pickup.
200.
Because it's the meeting spot. Like in college, it's the meeting spot. Legitimately, it's in the union. The West Quad's connected to the union. Shoot, you legitimately meet there probably around like noon, 11:30. Then you go to practice from there. You're gonna get a nugget or a fry or a single or a version of them combined at some point.
Love that.
Every day.
Making me hungry.
Yeah.
Hands up.
That's why I can't eat anymore.
Yes or no? Fries with steak.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
I just want to make sure I'm not unique there.
Absolutely.
You didn't raise your hand.
Hey, I would do it.
Okay. All right. Good enough.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Because he was talking about another establishment earlier, and they got steak bites there, and they fries with the seasoning on it. You got to get the mushrooms and the peppers with the steak bites and mix it with the fries.
Fair. Very true.
God,
Very
Shep,
true.
man, you got me over here. I'm like, this show got to end.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I got to go get some.
All right. Let's get to the wide receivers here with a former Pro Bowl wide receiver.
Let's go.
If I said to you the top 5 wide receivers in the National Football League
right now,
okay, after this year.
Ooh.
Okay, this year.
That's a good
give me
question.
your top 5.
In no particular order: Puka, JSN, St. Brown, Chase, and who's getting that 5th spot? His spot's locked. His spot's locked. Chase spot's locked. St. Brown's spot is locked. Because then comes Jefferson. And you know what? Yeah, I'm tripping. Justin Jefferson.
Okay, so those are the 5 that CBS put in.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jay Jettis. That was
That's all right.
Considering he still got 1,000 with them two
not
bumps
on
he
that
played.
Neil
Right.
energy?
Yeah, and he's made more about a quarterback. He's made more mentions about his lack of a quarterback this offseason that I can remember.
Yeah.
I wonder what that does. But whatever, guys are guys. It's not a big deal. Here's what they write about Amon-Ra St. Brown. I didn't realize this. He's registered 110 plus catches and 10 plus receiving touchdowns in 3 straight seasons. Do you know how many other players have done that? None. He's the first wide receiver in history to have 110 catches or more and 10 touchdowns or more 3 consecutive seasons. He also owns the most catches, 547, in a player's first 5 seasons in NFL history. Did not realize that. Meanwhile,
that stuff is cool, but like that stuff I take with a grain of salt because that stuff, there's 17 games to implement on the passing game, et cetera, et cetera. Like there's a lot that goes into that.
That's a good point.
That's why no one's ever done it.
Okay, here's the rest of their top 15. CeeDee Lamb at 6. Stop me when you think it's off base.
I don't know if CeeDee Lamb's 6.
Okay.
You can stop right there, to be honest.
Okay. Who would you have instead?
Finish the list and
Okay.
let me do that.
Nico Collins 7.
CD. Okay.
George Pickens 8.
Okay.
Devontae Adams 9.
Oh,
there's the answer, everybody. One of my favorite receivers, Malik Neighbors 10.
What?
Chris Olave 11. A.J. Brown 12.
What?
T. Higgins 13. Jalen Waddle 14.
Stop it.
Drake London 15.
A lot of upside there.
Okay.
Like, I don't even like Garrett Wilson is better than 5 of these people you name. Like Garrett, and that's just the first thought. I'm like, Chris Olave is really good, but he ain't the best Ohio State wide receiver.
Right.
Well, obviously Jackson Smith and Jigba, but looking at this list, definitely Garrett Wilson be somebody that I moved up. Obviously, I know what you're getting at. There's no JMO on this list as well. You get 15. Let me say, based on last year, Pickens is ahead of everybody on this list, but it's one of those things. It's the temperament. It's what is it going to look like next year? Just off the consistency, CD can stay at 6. Nico, I still haven't seen enough out of Nico. Pickens, how did A.J. Brown get so far down? Because his attitude and because of him dropping passes in the last game, it wasn't good, but that doesn't knock him down to
look,
12.
I suppose here's the only argument I can think of. If a team's going to trade a guy, and they haven't said that they will, but there's all that speculation that they're going to trade him, how can you be a top 15 receiver if a team doesn't value you, especially when you always
George
talk about
Pickens got traded. So what are we talking about?
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, George Pickens got traded that last year. It's an interesting list. I mean, we're like arguing over the apples to oranges at this particular part. I love Devontae Adams. I think he's one of the best wide receivers in the league. I wouldn't put him as high on this list.
Oh, I thought you were going to put him higher.
Nah, look, he did his thing with the touchdowns. And once again, y'all know how I feel about Devontae Adams. It took me forever to relinquish him as the number 1 wide receiver in this league. Puka's the best wide receiver on that team, and because of Puka and how they implement him in the red zone, that's where he has his success. Like, it is very scripted and schemed in way, and it's a great job by McVay. Based on that, I'm not putting him above the potential for – like, he's not above A.J. Brown. He's not above yeah. Drake London, I think, has a lot of upside.
I like Drake London a lot.
He's finally got I don't know what he has in Stefanski, but it seemed like he would have somebody that understands that. I don't know if he has the quarterback. I mean, I guess the list is fine. CD,
there's maybe 1 or 2 guys that you might shift a little bit. Their honorable mentions were Devontae Smith, Garrett Wilson, Ted McMillan, who won Offensive Rookie.
Told you.
Yeah. Zay Flowers and Jamison Williams.
Yeah, so
what I thought,
J-Mo and Garrett Wilson, I like.
Yeah, I like Garrett Wilson a lot. The interesting thing is that at Press Row yesterday, or 2 days, I think it was 2 days ago, they did an interview with Cooper DeJean, and he talked about the physicality of Amon-Ra St. Brown. Who's the toughest guy to guard in the National Football League? He mentioned Amon-Ra St. Brown as one of them, which I thought was pretty interesting.
I feel like the exact question was who is the most surprising guy? I think that's how they worded it. It was like, what was the biggest surprise, or who was the person the biggest surprise? And what the answer was Amon-Ra St. Brown. He says the physicality of Amon-Ra St. Brown, as well as his route running ability and understand for the game, made him a very, very tough cover. And I appreciate that, because when I first saw it, I was like, oh my God, now he's the best wide receiver in the game. That's on me, judging hyperbolic, didn't finish the conversation, didn't listen to everything. And when he says, who's the most surprising, that makes a lot of sense. Like, if you look at Amon-Ra St. Brown, you're like, man, he's not that tall. He's not that fast.
Sure.
Like, man, I just think they scheme him to get open. Like, this is what a DB will think potentially before you ever play him for the first time. It's like, all right, he's not jumping over people. He's not blazing by people. He's not just at the line of scrimmage. Like, he's a good receiver. I'll be able to do a little bit of something. He may win a couple. I'll win a couple. When you get out on that field, it's different. When you see the level of intensity that he plays with, when you see it's from play one to play whatever the end of the game is, when you see the route running ability is a lot better in person when you get on the field, when you get on the grass or you get on the field turf, when you see who they're looking to, who you know the offense going through, and it's still there. You're still having plays. Then you come out of the game like, damn, I couldn't keep up. Like, he was over here, then he was over here, and they had him in the slot, and they had him outside, they had him in the backfield. He threw a pass. I think when you leave a game, it's like the first time you check Steph Curry. I'm not saying he's Steph Curry, but the first time you check Steph Curry, you're like, all right, all he's going to do is shoot from half.
Yeah.
And then you get in that game and you look like Dellavedova chasing him around. You're like, sheesh.
I need to do more cardio.
So I think that's a very good answer, and I agree 100%. He probably is that way for a lot of people. When they see him, they make adjustments, and then they get to the locker room after the game, and they're like, I need to go back and not judge people and do some more film study.
Love that. I would encourage a lot of people, speaking of that, doing the little things, I would encourage anyone to go and read the article by Chase Daniel in The Athletic. He talks a lot about Matthew Stafford because he's been in quarterback rooms with some of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of the sport. He's learned a lot from Andy Reid. But when you're done reading it, maybe we can talk about it next week, how Stafford is different because of how he flips the thinking of how you should attack defenses. Okay, it's I think there's a lot of intel there that you would really be good at because of your football acumen. Kool-Aid, let's get to some super chats. Make sure we're on board here because I know we got Doc coming up, and I want to get to some Super Bowl stuff.
Doc's here?
Yeah,
I see him.
Stop
you got
lying.
a pretty nice
Doc ain't
backdrop.
in there. Doc's not in there. It's AI. That's AI. It's not Doc.
And we got a couple super chats here we can read as well. But let me see here. Charles says $2 super chat. Learning lessons. Don't take any team lightly. Shout out. And I think that goes back to when you guys were talking about the Super Bowl matchup.
Oh, I thought he was talking about Gonzaga and Portland.
Oh.
I thought he was talking about the Pistons in Washington.
Oh,
ooh, another good one. Another good one.
That's probably more it. Because they definitely looked like they looked past them last night. But, you know what? Dante151, he says, what about honey barbecue flavored wings? Also, yes or no to chicken tenders as a Super Bowl snack? Let's go Pistons. Beat the Knicks. And absolutely on tenders.
Chicken tenders for sure. My dad makes some really good ones. I got a couple spots that I won't mention because I got somebody paying attention, smart guy. And then honey barbecue. There's only a couple spots because I'm not a honey barbecue like the honey side of
It's
it.
like not all honey barbecue
too
is the
sweet.
same.
Too sweet
Like
for
sometimes it gets a little too sweet, but there's a couple spots, man. One spot does deep dish pizzas, old school, and they're one of the staples of deep dish pizza. Their honey barbecue wings are good, and I have to think of some other ones.
I do chicken fingers. I mean, I've got for me, it's got to be a ranch dressing with it, though. Sometimes a spicy mustard, but yeah, I do that. I prefer the chicken wings, but yeah, that's good.
I like
Nothing
the
wrong with that.
spicy
I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to turn it down.
I like that. That's it right there. Chicken tenders with spicy honey mustard for me.
Yeah,
I like
okay.
that.
All right,
I
gourmet.
like that.
I like that.
All right.
Chicken wings are always ranch, but to your point, chicken tenders for me is probably always honey mustard. Some type of honey mustard.
Amen to that. All right, anything else?
Let me see here.
Super Bowl.
Michigan Go Blue wants to know you guys' thoughts on the Jaden Ivey trade.
I think we said we thought initially knee-jerk reaction was underwhelming, but I understand why they did it now. I just thought they'd be able to get a little bit more back, and specifically maybe a starter back, and they didn't.
Yep, and then Charles, he sent in another one as well. Our last super chat in the system for now, $5, and he has number one crown. He says, my issue when we say best of all time, we don't use the disclaimer of the Super Bowl era. He says, if we compare of all time, it's also against the pre-Super Bowl. Is he trying to get our Lions some love?
I think he's trying to get Johnny Unitas in there. That's what he's trying to do. Right? I would guess.
Yep, from the conversation.
And if we ever talk safeties like we have, and we've mentioned Ronnie Lott, and I've mentioned Donnie Shell, and we've mentioned Ed Reed, and we've mentioned Troy Polamalu probably, and maybe a guy like John Lynch, Dick Night Train Lane, okay, before the Super Bowl. How bad was he? He was really, really good. I mean, bad in a good way.
14 interceptions.
Yeah. And that's funny because nobody brings up Paul Krause, and he's the all-time leader. He's a Michigander, by the way.
82 or something like that?
But he's the all-time leader. And then we mentioned Rod Woodson, of course. Darren Woodson was a hell of a safety for the Dallas Cowboys.
But that's just always negating the old school, whether it's right or wrong, because it's the same thing. Like, we negate a guy that has 11 championships. We negate a guy in basketball that has all the records, used to have all the records in Wilt Chamberlain. We diss them, and why do we diss them? Because we say, well, Bill Russell was playing against this, and Wilt Chamberlain was playing against this. So I think sometimes you get athletes, it's like, well, Paul Krause was doing his thing, but he was a hell of an athlete playing against guys that couldn't do what he do.
Right.
Unfortunate, but true.
Then why don't we do that with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? Because he doesn't get a lot of love. I mean, people talk about the greatest players of all time. How many people bring up Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
I think it's because, one, you're right. He's the greatest basketball player of all time when you look at every level. High school to college to NBA, he had the same effect. He was the best ever in unstoppable. Power, high school. He only lost his freshman year because a freshman couldn't play on varsity. But I think it's because when you insert Cap to what people remember, Cap was 1B on his team. So like when you think of Cap, it's like Bud Magic.
Yeah.
You and I, we've paid attention a little longer, so we don't view it that way. But I think when you just throw his name up now in this kind of conversation, say, but Kareem played with Magic because we think Magic.
And he played with Oscar Robertson in Milwaukee.
100%. Elgin.
That's a really interesting take on that. But I think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar he was an amazing basketball player. I'm not going to hold 1988 against him. He's an amazing basketball player.
Has there ever been a team that had 3 number ones operating in the same time?
When with Kareem, Magic, and James Worthy?
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know. James Worthy was unreal, man.
Big game James.
And could deck it and drive it and dunk with his quick leaping ability was incredible. You bring up college though, and there's no question. It's him and Bill Walton. Pete Maravich at LSU didn't win any national championships. That's the difference.
Pete.
He didn't play as a freshman. He's still the all-time leading scorer in NCAA history. There were no three-point line. Somebody did a study recently.
That's insane.
It is insane. Somebody did a study recently, and if he had the three-point line, he would have 57,000 points. It's ridiculous.
And his efficiency wasn't as bad as people think. That we shooting that many shots. It was up there, but it wasn't too bad. Somebody almost broke us from UAD, but it was like 7 seasons.
Yeah.
Young man from UAD. His father's a coach.
Yeah.
His father's a head coach.
Yeah. Speaking of old school, and then we got to hit a break because we got Doc waiting. I love bringing this up.
Oh, you saw Ray McCollum.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ray
McCollum.
I remember him. Yeah.
Really we had him on the show.
Really good player, Country Day. Baseball, real quick. Tony Gwynn is one of my favorite hitters of all time.
He's
okay.
Percentage-wise.
Let me just give you something really quick, and then we'll go to break. He hit 462 off John Smoltz, Hall of Famer.
Nobody
he hit
can
423 off Kevin Brown. He hit 415 off Greg Maddux, who's a Hall of Famer. He hit 390 off Kurt Schilling, who should be a Hall of Famer. It's a joke that he's not in. And he hit 314 off Pedro Martinez, who is a Hall of Famer. That man was really, really high level.
When people don't like you, when a lot of people don't like you, it makes things really difficult. And that's what Kurt Schilling is dealing with.
Yeah, well, I get it to a certain extent. Shouldn't keep him out of the hall.
No,
Okay?
I
Check
agree.
it. Right. All right, real quick, timeout, and then Dr. Pierce joins us. And after this, from Dr. Pierce and Buddy's Pizza. And then we've got to get to the Super Bowl stuff because I've been late in getting that to Braylon as well. So stay with us.
Trust the guy we all trust. In fact, you hear his expert insights in about 2 minutes. He is the injury insider. He is Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. He and his staff over there, they know exactly what they're doing. How many times do I come on the show and tell you I got this, I got that, and then in 2 or 3 weeks, I'm feeling much, much better? Well, it's because I trust Dr. Pierce, and you should too. 248-426-9944 or scan the QR code above my head.
Well, that was quicker than I expected.
Well, he's about to come on the show, so I'm doing a 10-hour read. My bad.
Buddy's Pizza.
Let me hang it.
Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, go to Buddy's. Get a pizza. Get some salads. Get their home-style pasta. You won't miss out, okay? It's going to be, you're going to be the life of the party. If you're going to cater your party, make sure it's with Buddy's. And you save 20% on your next catering order of $200 or more when you order with the promo code Woodward20. Enjoy.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shepard Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsAndSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
When you have everything you need to get stronger, just around the corner, you can give everything you've got.
Just 30 more seconds.
With over 2,800 locations, there's always a Planet Fitness near you. Join the club today and get your first month free. Just $1 down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, February 13th.
See what you got.
Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
Let's give it up for David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Come to any any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward. WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Black Rock Bar and Grill, still a sizzle above the rest. Mention Woodward Sports and get 20% off your food bill. You know where that will come in handy? How about Valentine's Day? Rock this Valentine's Day with the hottest steakhouse around. The only thing hotter should be your date at the Steak on the Stone. Bring your loved one for a night to remember this Valentine's Day, but you gotta remember, people are calling now. It is priority seating, so you gotta reserve. Just hit them ahead of time. Make sure you call. Get in. Ladies and gentlemen, what's today's date? Is it the 6th? 7, whatever it is, Valentine's Day is right around the corner. It is the 6th, so pull up, make the reservation, mention Woodward Sports, have a hell of a night. Top rock experience at Black Rock Bar.
If you want to look good on Valentine's Day, you come to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Sign in. Next thing you know, you're in the chair. You're getting the best haircut you've had, perhaps in your life. And then you walk out and you're looking sweet for your sweetheart. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It is wicked awesome.
And we back.
What up, though? What up, though? This is like
we got some itis.
No, I'm ready. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Look, I am not going to lie. I've been thinking about the cheeseburger that I just consumed from Savvy Sliders, so my apologies.
Nah, it's all
Welcome
good,
back,
man.
exes. Welcome back, folks. To the Braylon Edwards Show. Speaking of doctors, because you just had mentioned that earlier just as we were going to break, Dr. Jeffrey Pierce joins us, and he's ready to take us through some of the injuries that are most important. But before we get to that, Doc, welcome. We had a discussion earlier, and the discussion
there he is. What up, Doc?
The discussion was about the best things to eat on Super Bowl Sunday. All right, the top Super Bowl eats. It can be healthy, I suppose, if you want to go that route. That's Braylon. Braylon's going to eat salads and stuff like that. Okay, what is it?
After I just had this,
what's going to be on your table here?
I mean, I'll show you right now. I got the Savvy Sliders tailgate special.
Oh,
all right, take us through it, please, because it looks fantastic.
We didn't get any of that today.
This is Johnny.
What up, Johnny?
Johnny's from Michigan. Okay, I have to bring this up. Where did you meet me? The beach tub working out. Was I working out? I was working out.
I know he lying.
12-ounce curls doesn't count as a workout.
I know Johnny lying.
He was curling the Savvy Sliders.
Pretty much.
No, we're going. No, I didn't realize he informed me that there's 80 locations in our lovely Michigan area.
Okay.
And he started 2 here in Florida. And you guys know I am spending time down in Florida right now. So we're in Fort Lauderdale at his store. And he made me this package of the tailgate package. So I will promote this as a healthy snack for a Super Bowl Sunday.
I like it. Ask Johnny, what's the difference between...
what do we have here?
What's the difference between Savvy Sliders here in Michigan in terms of the traction, the energy, and Fort Lauderdale? I know different energy up here. Everybody's fit down there. The sun's always out. What does it look like there versus up here in Michigan?
It's a little tough to
a little tough to hear him, Doc.
That's because he's chewing at the same time.
You got to go a little louder.
All right. Doc, what's the difference between the Savvy Sliders in Florida and that energy down there compared to the high energy here in Michigan, especially after we just had a box of Savvy Sliders ourselves, thanks to Braylon Edwards, no thanks to
you. Hey, we promoted it. We promoted it. Actually, we can do a shout out to the Savvy Slider followers right now. They're following us. But anyhow, the real thing is, you bring up a good point. There's a lot of healthier people here. He does have more purity. It's a little cleaner. They definitely put lettuce and tomato on the sandwich. but the burger itself is a cleaner burger, supposedly, right? And the chicken is a little less bread. We're pretty some taste, and I hear they have something like a secret sauce for their chicken fingers. So we all know about.
It always comes back to the secret sauce.
Always comes back to the secret sauce. What's the favorite? What's your favorite item on that Savvy Slider? I just had the bacon cheeseburger that was off the chain. What's your favorite there?
I think I'm going the classic, the burger, but the chicken's a close second, is what I'm hearing, and the chicken fingers are supposed to be a little outrageous over here. The chicken fingers are key.
Okay. All right. Well, when you get back to Florida or from Florida, we expect at least one box for the Braylon Edwards.
There you go.
All right. Let's get to some injuries, Braylon. Some injuries.
All right. I'm pausing.
That's okay.
I'm having my little.
That's right. You're thinking of you're thinking of the sandwiches too. I don't blame you.
We could still be eating. I almost would eat some.
Yeah, I would trust me. I mean, that went down pretty quick. I got no problem with it. There's a guy out there by the name of Dr. Chow who is speaking on Kirby Joseph's injury.
That's the one.
Sometimes it can be a little dangerous when you get hyperbolic with this stuff. What was your take on what he had to say about Kirby Joseph, and what's your diagnosis from afar?
It's not from afar really, because I understand he's an orthopedic surgeon. Right? Orthopedic surgeons aren't so sold on what we're calling the secret sauce and all the biologics and all that stuff. But I did mention the last time we talked about Kirby, as far as the recovery, I love that he's trying to go the more natural route, do the secret sauce, do the stem cells, do the PRP route. But right now, I do argue, and I kind of favor what he's saying, is that we probably needs to go in with an arthroscopic surgery into the knee, smooth those areas out, clean up the dead ends of the ligaments, and create a healthier environment for recovery. He does have a lot of our micro cartilage, micro fractures, micro injuries, all small. He hasn't had a major ACL tear or meniscal tear. Mm-hmm. It's all that accumulative effect over the years. He's been criticizing Kirby Josephs for hurting other people's knees. So the irony of this is that he's coming back and telling that Kirby Joseph has a knee that's not going to recover from just simple organic recovery, meaning I'll go on record. I'm not totally 100%. He got everybody all riled up. I got calls from everybody, including my son, about Kirby Joseph and these comments. He can't recover from it. He can recover. He can recover from biologics, which orthopedic guys don't fully understand because their job is to do surgery. When we're talking about non-surgical, which I'm a non-surgical sports medicine, and we utilize the biologics, meaning stem cell PRP. But in this case, I will agree with him that we probably need to go in there, scope the area, smooth out the area so we have a healthy, growing median or environment for that to create more of a stable recovery. Meaning, if I smooth the area out, think of it like I've always said, the stem cell is like the seed. Punch holes into the area of the bone to create a value. Like when you aerate a golf course, you aerate it, you drop the seeds in, which is the stem cell, and then we're fertilizing with PRP. I think that's a more proven model than just trying to do it just with stem cell and PRP.
Okay.
Because Kirby Joseph is an extensive player, you're going a little bit further.
I love that you bring up golf as I'm watching part of the Waste Management Phoenix Open. Doc, let me ask you a question. Let me bring it back to the fan base because I know they have concerns about what does this mean for the safety position. You know that Brian Branch is going to come back later in the season due to an Achilles last year. We understand that Kirby Joseph right now doesn't know what level he's going to be able to come back or if he's going to be able to come back. Based on what you know on these two safeties, do the Lions need to go out and get a safety in free agency or draft another one for this upcoming year while they're waiting to see what's going to happen with these two players that both these injuries they sound crazy?
I'm saying 100% they should be looking for a backup plan. Right now, if we can pick somebody up in the draft or in free agency, we definitely need some help with our backfield. It's just a smart. Branch is not going to be back for the beginning of the season. At best, he's there beginning of 2027. which sounds like far away.
It
But
is.
yeah, I mean, we need to have someone who can have an impact. Kirby is a great player. Like I said, the mental minds, the football minds of these guys is being missed more than anything. Kirby controls the backfield on defense, and you're missing that. We need that additive. Kirby comes back. I predict he will come back healthy. I'm kind of going against what Dr. that we are expecting him to come play. He wouldn't be going this and being advised if he had no high percentage of recovery to do this. He can always get not going. It's a 2-week to get scope. So we still have a lot of time to still play with that. I think that's what they're probably doing to see if, we have a lot of metrics. We have a lot of metrics to look at his strength, to look at his firepower, his firing patterns to see if he is doing well. I think that's kind of what they're looking at. If it doesn't happen, then maybe he still would have the arthroscopic surgery.
Okay.
So the answer to your question is yes, they should be looking for somebody. 2, I believe Kirby's going to be back. Branch is going to be back at the beginning of the season for sure.
Okay, Doc. Well, we appreciate that as always, and we appreciate you making us hungry with the Savvy Sliders. Tell the man down there that he's a good man and he's feeding you, but he should be up here feeding us too when the weather breaks, and we'll see you when you get back, okay?
All right, I did want to talk about Lindsey Vaughn because the chat's going big on Lindsey. Have you guys got much?
Yeah, we got 2 minutes. 2 minutes on Lindsey Vaughn coming back at age 41.
Lindsey Vaughn playing. It's not just she's coming back at 41, which is remarkable, but she's also coming back. She just had a partial anterior cruciate ligament, meaning she still has fibers. So everybody's worried, how is she going to represent USA with a torn ACL?
Right.
First of all, number one, it's not a complete tear. It's a partial tear.
Okay.
She's already torn it multiple times. She knows the recovery. She knows the process. She has such strong quad strength, and that's how you overcome. People are like, how can you compete or do anything with an ACL?
Mm-hmm.
You do have instability with the stability going side to side and back and forth. It's a lot of the back and forth that she's going to miss, but she's going to be braced, and her strength of her legs, the ratio of her strength is outrageous. What this woman's doing, I mean, she's breaking records. But the bottom line is, I talk about mental toughness. You're talking about one of the greatest athletes with mental toughness.
I like that.
And you can't underestimate her mental toughness, her overcoming pain. Is this woman going to have a total knee replacement prematurely in life? I would predict yes, because she's done nothing but fully damage and fully power through her knee pain.
That is crazy, man. And she did it within a
But you
week
can
or
see
so.
what.
Okay.
Yeah, but you look at her, she's lifting and then she's tapping.
Yeah.
What is that doing? That's creating the proper reception, the feedback systems from her feet all the way up. She's getting that feedback right away because that shuts. When you have an injury, all that stuff shuts down. You got to find a way to turn it back on. So you can see she's tapping here.
Yeah.
This is the coolest exercise to do. And that rapid fire, you're looking at rapid fire for fast twitch fibers.
This looks
so when
like
you start talking about the mechanism,
it's similar
looking at the mechanisms.
That's what you were doing this
It's similar
morning.
to your workout, right?
I
was going to say it's similar to, I can't think of the guy, but he trained Adam Archuleta and a couple other individuals. I don't think it's Todd Marinovich's father, but this is the type of dynamic work that he was doing.
Yeah.
And Todd, that Adam Archuleta, that combine tape, man, that's some of the most dynamic stuff I've ever seen. And it looked very similar to a lot of that stuff.
Doc, that's such great insight. We appreciate it. I didn't realize. I thought it was completely torn. You said it just partially torn. That's great insight. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl. We'll talk next week. Okay?
Who wins?
All right, good. I got Seattle with my Michigan State running back. So
there it is.
All right,
I'm going with Seattle.
K9. All right. I like
there
that.
it is. I ain't
Thank you,
mad
Doc.
at
Great
Enjoy
stuff,
yourself,
man.
Doc.
All right. Have a great
soon.
weekend.
All right. Hey,
Yeah.
shout out to Savvy Sliders, the followers. Click us to follow us more, and we'll get some more Savvy Sliders to Detroit when I'm back.
There it is.
Let's rock.
All right. Cool, Doc. Appreciate
Talk
you,
to you,
baby.
Doc. All right, Johnny.
Enjoy,
my guy.
Enjoy, man. Savvy Sliders, man.
Yes,
Savvy
sir.
Sliders. It is what it's all about. It's such good food, man. Really good
Yeah, it
burgers.
is. Yeah, it
Who do you got this weekend?
Oh, I guess it's that time.
It is that
I
time.
stop beating around the bush. Yeah, I've been talking about the Patriots all week, trying to do something different. I think this game will be a lot closer than people think. I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots won because typically when craziness happens, the New England Patriots are a part of it. Whether they're winning or losing, they're happening.
It does seem that way, doesn't it?
Like they weren't supposed to lose to the Giants. They lost twice.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't supposed to beat The
Falcons.
No, they weren't supposed to beat the. Well, I guess that one. Going into that game, they were.
Yeah, I got
but
you.
They weren't supposed to be the greatest show on turf.
Yeah, the
did.
Rams. Good point.
So it's like they weren't supposed to lose to the Eagles and Nick Foles. They did. So like whenever craziness happens,
a great point. Yeah.
Patriots are a part of it. But give me Seattle. Give me Seattle to the tune of 24 to 19.
Ooh, so the spread's 4.5.
I think they barely cover.
Okay.
Like, I think they barely cover this.
I was going to say 24-20. I got Seattle, too.
So we're in
I think like 27, 24.
Okay.
27.
I like that too.
You got Seattle?
Yeah.
A lot of the
Seattle.
A lot of the pros that, as it relates to odds, betting, gambling, ESPN, all those guys. I did that on purpose. They're not pros. They have double digits for Seattle. A lot of individuals that know what they're talking about, they're going double digits. That's why I said Kool-Aid. That's not a bad guess. I'm gonna stick with that defense. I'm thinking, like, I can't unsee the fact that Mike Vrabel is the head coach of the New England Patriots. He's been in this spot.
That's true.
He's been in this spot, man, in more ways than one. And his defensive prowess, I think they're going to try to do some different things for Sam Darnold. Because regardless of the credit we give Sam Darnold, because it's deserved, regardless of the yards, regardless of first place in the league, regardless of you knocked out Matt Stafford, boy, oh boy, did he have 20 turnovers this season. And I cannot unsee that. In bad spots, sometimes he gets off. Now you start to see those turnovers rear their ugly head. So it's an if, but if they can make some headway on him, he's showing you his track record through this season, through last season. This isn't something that showed in the past. This is showing this season and last season.
He's going to have to do something about that pass rush, though, that his team is succumbing to over the last couple of playoff games. Drake May.
Sacks.
Yeah, that's way too many. Yeah, if you hope to, get through a clean game like that. Here's the.
And
so
this
can they
defense is
protect?
better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can they protect Drake May? And then on the other side, can Sam Darnold really play as well as he played against the Rams? I don't think that's possible. Although the Patriots' defense statistically is better.
The biggest thing for him is he's not going to see just 4. And now he had success against the Rams. Like when they played both last few times they played the Rams, they blitz 4. Those guys get tired. And that's when you blitz them 4. When you're rushing 4 the whole game, those guys get tired after a certain point.
Sure.
And as we talked about that in the second half and in the fourth quarter, Rams are not the same on defense at the defensive line. The way in which Vrabel goes about it, his guys stay a little bit more fresh as it relates to a whole game. And they got some players over there that have been in the Super Bowl and played in it as well. Because Milton Williams, who's a defensive lineman, well, he won with the Eagles last year.
Right.
So they got some players over there that have that cachet, have that experience, and it's going to be interesting to see how it comes together. Give me the Seattle Seahawks by 5.
Okay. I got a couple of Super Bowl questions for you before we get out of here.
Let's get
Ready?
it.
All right.
Let's get to it.
Give me a
Doug Williams. I'm sorry.
Give me a name. Give me a name of a guy who has the most consecutive Super Bowl wins, 3 in a row. What player has won 3 in a row?
So it's not a quarterback.
I'll give you a hint. His dad was the heavyweight champion of the world.
Ken Norton Jr.
Right. Ken Norton and Darian Kennard both have won 3 in a row.
San
right?
Fran and then Cowboys.
Right. Correct. Right. And for Kennard, it was Chiefs and Eagles.
Guess what? I got a chance. I can't make this up. I used to sit directly next to Ken Norton Jr. in full team meetings when I played for the Seattle Seahawks because I told you my favorite team growing up was the 49ers. And also, I love boxing. I asked him so many questions through these meetings, and he answered every single one of them. He was funny as I don't know what.
That's cool.
He's got a jaw, I tell you like this. Like, I wouldn't want to fight him.
Well, his dad was my favorite fighter.
He beat Ali. They cheated him.
Well, I thought they cheated him when Larry Holmes beat him because it went the full distance. Ken Norton was the champion. I never thought Larry Holmes beat him. I remember saying to my dad, I can't believe they gave it to him. I was upset like nobody's business. I
Politics.
said, yeah, you're supposed to beat the champ, and he didn't beat him, Dad. And my dad's just like, what do you want me to do about it? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, longest span between Super Bowl, and Larry Holmes was an incredible champion. Longest time span between Super Bowl championships as a player, 12 seasons. Who is it? He's one of your favorite players for a team in the AFC. He's a defensive player.
Okay, longest time between it is. Oh, it's Ray Lewis.
Correct.
Ray Lewis.
Well done. All right.
100%. 2000 and 2000.
I'll give you 3 more real quick. Oldest player to win a Super Bowl.
Moments Brown. No, I'm joking. to show some love to Lomas. Did he play?
We talked about him earlier today.
Oh, we talked about it. Ray Nitschke? No, I'm just, you got to give me a hint.
He's a quarterback.
Starback?
Tom Brady.
Oh, see, when you get put on the spot, you miss easy questions. So Kool-Aid, I got you back on your Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Sorry about
that. Most points scored in a Super Bowl career, 48. Your favorite player?
Hey, scored the most points as a player? Oh, it's Jerry Rice.
Correct, 48.
Yeah, Jerry Rice.
Last one. It's two-part.
He's
highest passer rating in a career in Super Bowl history. All his Super Bowls, not one game.
Right.
One game, it's Phil Simms. All his career. Highest passer rating of any quarterback.
Is there a minimum?
40 attempts.
Okay, so that could be one game. This is going to suck. Who?
We mentioned him earlier.
Steve Young.
Joe Montana.
It was Joe?
It's Joe Montana.
I figured.
He's got a 127.83. Now, the lowest passer rating to win a game.
Trent Dilfer.
In Super Bowl history. No.
Oh, he didn't throw a lot of passes. Let me see. Who had an ugly?
Think close to home.
Brady's had some Brady's
Think
had some.
close to home.
Okay, Matt Stafford.
Ben Roethlisberger in Detroit against Seattle.
Got you. Okay, I got
22.6.
Yeah, Ben Roethlisberger is one of those quarterbacks that, as I've gotten older and gotten removed, like he was good, but it's like how good?
Yeah.
Because that realistically, he's got more Super Bowl wins than Matt Stafford, but I wouldn't put him above Matt Stafford.
I don't disagree with you.
And he's done more than Matt Stafford as it relates to that.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I thought that was Q playing it.
I did too. I was like, man,
I thought
Q was over there bugging. He was looking at the board like, what did I do?
That's a J. Cole song. I hope we won't get fired. That's on me.
All right, we got to roll
Q's
on out of
face,
here.
dog.
It's after 4 o'clock. Just a reminder, folks, if you're going to celebrate the Super Bowl, make sure you're celebrating it with Sam Adams Cherry Wheat Beer. And it's one of those beers and one of those drinks that is prevalent at Art and Jake's in Northville. We got that watch party. Remember that, March 8th, Michigan and Michigan State. So join us for that.
Yeah, when you're watching the game, try not to think about the Detroit Lions and they should be here, and if they were here, they could beat this team. Don't do that to yourself.
Yeah.
That's typically what we do. Oh, if the Lions are playing it, just enjoy the Super Bowl, and we'll deal with the Lions as soon as the game's over.
And we'll be talking about it on Monday here on the Braylon Edwards Show. Have a great weekend.
See ya!
Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep.
Do you believe this comeback?
Your favorite sports commentator as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before.